This is the talk show that takes a no-holds-barred approach to politics, where truth and integrity are the standard and the Constitution honored. From Renaissance Studios, this is Champion News Talk Radio.
Good morning and welcome to a very special edition of Champion News Talk Radio. This is our special Mother's Day edition. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. And this is our third annual Mother's Day edition, and we went big this year. We have the greatest ladies with us. We have the Mamas of Liberty with us, the Champions of Liberty with us today. And our founder, Jack Roser, and myself are very excited to be doing this show. Jack, what do you think of all these great ladies in our studio today?
I think I better behave myself.
Why?
Why? Well, these are a bunch of dynamite women. The reason you're here, besides being charming and pretty, but the reason you're here is that you've all accomplished remarkable things in trying to straighten out the sorry state of Illinois. In your own local areas, you've had a real effect on expressing the will of the people, certainly your own will of the people, and getting people elected to office so that things run a little bit better. The state of Illinois has got two bad things about it. Everybody knows it's the most crooked state of the 50, and it's also the most broke state of the 50. That's a horrible condemnation of our state, and we have to do something about it immediately. And I think the leaders and the ground troops both have remarkable women in them that have done just terrific things. The world was just paying tribute to Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady of England. And all of you here are, I don't like to call you Iron Ladies, but you all got a tough spot, and you know how to get on with things, and you don't like to take crap from stupid politicians. And, you've all turned that into victories in your local area. I think, God love you all.
Jack, I know you talk about your little Irish mom. Before we interview the ladies today, what would you like to
sure.
say?
My mother was a little Irish lady, just 5 feet tall, but even more noticeable was my grandmother, who came over from Belfast, where she lived, as an orphan girl of 14. The man that brought her up was an Orangeman, meaning he wasn't a Catholic, but Grandma Boyle said, well, he was a fine man anyway. But she came from Belfast, but she was so energetic, like she was a little bit like all of you. And we always said that she came from County Run Fast. Well, you're all from County Run Fast too, and you set an example that a lot of men should shut up and watch you women go. It's not that we guys don't have a role to play, but the politics in Illinois wouldn't be looking forward with the expectation of winning in this coming election, and we must win for our families, and you run your families. And that's the most important thing of all, is to have a decent government with the families taking up the slack where you live. And with that, as I'm going to shut up now because you know what you're all about, and I just got a tremendous admiration. I'm an old man, and through the years I've had experience with women leaders a lot. We got a room full of women leaders.
Yes, we do. And ladies, I just would like to ask you all a question. You're all here. What made you step up and do this? What was the biggest compelling factor for you as moms to step up to leadership? Anybody want to start? Do I have to call on someone? Denise, you're the head of Illinois Tea Party. I'm sorry, I know you were at the very first Tea Party. What made you do this?
My kids, and our country. I actually was a mortgage broker at the time, and President Bush was president. And when I watched the market tank and realized that the legislators in Washington certainly knew exactly what was happening to us and how it affected the country. And then we went to TARP and the stimulus bill and Obamacare and all these other things. I mean, you talk about big government. People don't want big government in their lives. You know, I worked in an office for 29 years, and I think everybody here will tell you that we just want to raise our children, have happy lives, and keep the government out of our lives. We're not labeled as Republicans, Libertarians, Democrats. We just want these people out of our life. And that's why I do what I do.
That's why you do what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you all for doing what you're doing. Anybody else have a different story? Aaron?
For me, it was more of not one event, but it's a slow burn. My parents were very into like Ayn Rand and, you know, Friedman and the free markets, kind of a libertarian feeling that people should have their business and not all this government interference. And I think you go and you see as things slowly erode every year, you know, every President Bush, you had No Child Left Behind, you had a lot of regulation, you had, you know, Hillary Care talked about. And over the course of my life, it's like a slow wince that slowly comes in on you. And then when I had my son, it felt like now this really matters because darn it, my kid's going to have the same free life that I did.
That's a great thing, and that's my next question to you, ladies. Unless anybody else has something to say about Susie.
Well, I got started, and I have to credit the mainstream media. I heard a lot of negative, nasty things about the Tea Party and the grassroots organizations. I heard that the Tea Party was racist, that they hated Obama, and so I decided to go to a Tea Party rally and view what I see if what they were saying was true. And while there, I took pictures of everything. I took pictures of people walking around in a pro-life outfit. I took pictures of the singers on the stage, and I saw people of all different colors. So I was there about 5 minutes. I went as an observer, and 5 minutes later, I became a fan. And that was my journey, to seek the truth.
Now, that's a good story. Debbie? Stephanie.
Stephanie, the Lamont Tea Party. I would say that my involvement was because I love the United States of America. And I love the country I knew as a child. I love our Constitution. I love our form of government, the checks and balances that I saw fading away. And I've been in this fight since the early 90s. So when the Tea Party people came around, it was just a natural thing for me to join in and see that it was more than just a few of us and a few conservative groups. It was a fire that spread all across the nation, and I had to get on board with it and be part of it because I felt like finally people are waking up and we're going to make a difference.
Great.
Now, as this thing is going along, I'm thinking the press never treated the Tea Party movement very well. They treated them like they weren't smart, they weren't really involved in anything. They were just there not to be really dealt with. Well, I got news for them, boy. They're dealing with real leaders in you, and people like you are all over this nation. Maybe not exactly like, but you've had to deal with and I admire women, heads of families, tremendously.
Well, you know what they say, Jack. First they ignore you, then they mock you, then they attack you, and then you win. And 2010, we proved some great wins. And I guess now, how many of you felt that there was something before 2009? How many of you felt like early, like 2000? And you were so excited when Rick Santelli said that rant and this whole Tea Party thing happened. Were all of you feeling there was something going on in your country?
Oh, yeah.
So everybody had this thing. So Rick Santelli did a great thing, and everybody that showed up that February 27th and then February 27th was the very first rally, right?
Right.
And then April 15th was the bigger one.
1.2 million people.
Wow, all over the country.
Yes, ma'am. 783 Tea Parties.
Wow. You know what? We're going to go to break here in a little bit. But before the break, I want to ask you all a quick question. And do you think your children are going to have a better opportunity than you did as a child? Or do you think they're going to be more oppressed? Anybody think their kids are going to have it better?
No.
That's why we're doing this.
Now, Susie, you said yes. Why? 20 seconds.
I believe in the country. I believe that people are going to be waking up and they're going to educate themselves and they're going to make the right decision.
And you know what? I know with ladies like you, we will do that. And we are going to come back after our break. Stay with us. Call your friends. We are going to be back hearing from the patriotic moms for our special Mother's Day show.